Welcome to TradeDelicious, the show where trading secrets are unraveled one expert at a time. Each episode, we dive into some amazing traders, their experiences, their journeys, and the lessons they've learned throughout their career. I'm Jordan Meller, your host into the fascinating world of trading. And today, I want to introduce you to a very, very special figure. Unlike our other guests, this guest has a completely different background with completely different insights, which I believe you guys are going to adore. Allow me to introduce you to Marcello Cremi. He's renowned for not only working in a hedge fund in Milan, but managing over $65 million positions and a portfolio up to $100 million. With 15 years of trading experience, he began his journey studying at university, both finance and corporate finance, which makes him an outstanding professional all round. So let's dive in and learn from the best. Welcome to Traders of Money, Marcello. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Hi, Jordan. Thank you for having me. It's always like a nice introduction. You guys are always like very nice to me.
I'm glad you liked it. Look, I like to do a little curveball question at the start of all my episodes, so I'm going to throw it your way. Before we get into your professional side, before we get into your trading world, can you share with us perhaps an unknown fact or a little thing about Marcello which a lot of the world wouldn't know?
You mean in general, as me,
in general? Yeah.
I like to cook.
You like to cook,
and that I thought like there was like one thing that you will have said in the introduction, and I like any other ones. He has like a very heavy accent, right?
yeah. So that's the Italian coming out in you then.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, like to cook. I support Juventus. Not you Liverpool, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, that's right. But no, that's beautiful. I stress cook personally. Cooking just stresses me out. I really struggle with it. So I admire you for being able.
Well,
to do
in Australia, I believe like you guys have a big variety of food, and so
that's right. Very multicultural. Very, very multicultural. Yeah. So there's a lot of different foods. But no, thanks for sharing that. I didn't know that about you. I didn't know you were such a chef.
Boris will tell you something like about my cooking style and
you cook for him.
How like grandma style I am.
Family food. It's proper Italian style, right? We have a huge Italian population here in Melbourne, so I understand. I've got plenty of friends that are Italian, and Nonna's cooking.
Are they real Italian or like third, fourth generation?
Like real
they
Italian.
Have the accent like me?
Yeah, okay. Real Italian.
Okay, perfect.
All right, let's get into it. Let's get into trading. You obviously, compared to a lot of the people we talk to here and a lot of people that are our guests who come from the retail trading background, you come from the opposite. You come through the traditional methods of studying at university, going through degrees and working at a hedge fund and managing those larger positions. Can you tell me a little bit about your story and how it worked on that side of the world compared to how it works on the retail side of the world of getting into trading?
Well, it depends, like on everything. Let's say that as a financial trader on an institution, we all like try to manage our own money as well, right? So we kind of like share our insights, especially when you start. I had like the senior like teaching me and give me some insights as well, and me as well, like as a fresh out of college, I had something to say as well. So it's behind the desk, we are all the same. We do the same, but like once we are working for the company, there are like some like procedures, some other stuff you need to follow. You don't have like completely discretionary, and you need to like have like when you talk about risk management, you talk about risk management, because then you're gonna receive emails from the risk management department say, what the hell are you doing, right? You can get fired. No, you open some, like you turn on some lights that the Italian SEC and will say, hey, can you guys explain this? And then like the head of the department call your boss, call you and say, hey, What happened
That,
here? Tell me about it.
that setup, I truly believe would help. I know it's daunting, right? You make a mistake, you've got jobs on the line, you've got people calling you up, and you're dealing with a little bit more money than what the usual retail trader would as well. But I mean, I think that's one thing a lot of retail traders lack, is someone to give them a slap on the wrist when they're doing something wrong, or someone to be like, hey, why are you doing that? Like, it's kind of a trial and error process. Whereas I feel going through that institutional route, you've got, as you said, your supervisor was helping you to understand what was going on. And then on top of that, if you mess up, your job's on the line. It's a little bit like, oh God, I can't do that again. Whereas retail traders who come from their self-funding and working that way, they don't get that boss figure. Do you feel that helped you in your trading? Do you resonate with what I'm saying from the outside view there?
Yeah, I understand your question, and yes, like definitely. I think I already said it before in like one of other interview, like podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Having somebody you can rely on, it's easier.
Yeah.
But it's easier because it has to be easier because like you said, managing like big position and being part of a company, you need like the supervisor that is going to teach you to do something, even if you're good, whatever. But there are things that you don't know, obviously, you're not prepared for. And when you are by yourself on a screen with your own money, because that's the thing, let's say that worst case scenario, you get fired, you find another job. When you lose your own entire like savings, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because after that, you need to find a normal job.
yeah, same outcome, but different type of pain. Yeah, you're 100% right.
And like I think like being lonely for how I am, it's pretty tough because I'm Italian. I'm very social. I like to be in a group of people. And actually, if I can like share like a little thing, like I'm struggling now in the US because I'm like new. I'm starting like my own career, and how I set it up, I want it to be free and flexible. So I always look for a remote job, which I have, but sometimes, a lot of time, I need to get out the house and do something, and it's important that you create that environment, during work, and especially when you if you do this kind of job that it's very a solo job, you need like somebody, you need like a like a brother that help you, like me and Boris, like we are very close and we share a lot of things, especially when we were like working at CoinW together. We constantly texting because it's I like it like that. You share, you enjoy the because you remind me like when I was working at the bank. I never been in like my own desk, and I always like had to like unless I had clients coming over, but otherwise I was always going like busting the balls of somebody else.
Yeah, no, it's true, and it's hidden in the wording. When you day trading, swing trading, any type of trading for a full-time career, or even like you mentioned there, doing remote work. It's remote. Which doesn't just mean away from the office. It means you are alone, you're remote, you're by yourself. And there are a lot of issues that people run into in the long term from that, and especially trading, where a tap on the shoulder by someone, a laugh, or a little conversation at the water tower can go a long way. And I resonate with that. And
sometimes like you like a little thing, like you're not sure about something, and then like you have the confirmation. Oh yeah, like I see that I'm buying it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's what you need, and even like the style of trading, as you mentioned, like one thing is like being day trader or like a swing trader. It makes a big difference because if you're a swing trader, you really have a lot of time, because you manage position like so and so, like once a while, you create your alert, you have your stop loss set up, to take profit. If you're day trader, you have more fun, you're more like on it, you're like like a scalper, right there, no? But
so
it depends.
Yeah, let's get more into trading then. Let's focus in to a bit about your experience. And there's one question I always like understanding, always like throwing. I think I know what I think you know what I'm about to say. Is there a trade in your history from a retail point of view or from the professional side of things that just sticks with you? Is there an unforgettable trade that you will never forget?
Yes, and it is. I was applying my own strategy for one of my own like day trader like personal account strategy
Okay.
at work, and like I
Oh,
said,
okay.
and two different style, right? Two different strategies, managing like long position, but like my strategy can apply even on the long because it's basically like you can like use it on any time frame. You need
Yeah.
to follow the time frame for the price action and or the breakout, but you can apply in any way. And so we had this with a big position on one of like Italian utility company, A2A, A2A,
Yeah.
and so I saw based on my consideration on the chart that there would have been like a big drop. So I usually follow like a couple of indicators, and it gave me like the signal that it will have like go down a bit. And we had like a big large portfolio quantity in our portfolio, and so I convinced the management to kind of like reduce that
Your
position.
exposure. Yeah.
That week the effing stock went down like 15%.
Wow.
I was like, wow. The wealth manager called me and said, oh, you were right about that. So yeah, I saw that. So
Wow.
and that was good. You feel good because like it's really totally on you.
Yeah.
I was like checking on all the stuff, especially because like our portfolio were like in the hedge fund was like based on a lot of stocks.
Yeah.
Majorly they were exposed in the US market, but we have like as a Italian like company, they had Italian stocks always. So, and usually the utilities are kind of like the we call it like like a defensive company. It's not like they
Mhm.
don't go
Right.
up or
Yeah.
down so much, but like the last years has been like the market crazy, so like, any stock was like going up and down a lot. So when you catch the moments even on the defensive stocks, it's good because like it can really like save your performance in a like in a monthly or like weekly time frame.
I think that something speaks volume about what you've just said. There's a few key points. Your most unforgettable trade was not a trade that made money. It was a trade that stopped the fund from losing money. Right?
Yeah. Well,
That
because like I
that's
said, it was like it was on me. It was like me applying
yeah.
my own strategy, totally my own strategy, suggesting something that nobody have seen it because they were not talking. And like I just say, hey, because they usually like how it worked is like that there was a strategy that the wealth
Mhm.
management was like taking care of. I think that time they were shorting the all luxury let's say the all luxury industry. And
Yeah.
what they actually did is because there wasn't like an ETF doing that, they asked a bank, like one of the bank we work for, to make one. So they create like an ETF that was shorting the major luxury stocks, and we were buying it. And there
Right.
was majorly exposed like Louis Vuitton, Hering, and Prada, like the major
Yeah.
the major company.
Like designer
And
brands
yeah,
and yeah. Yeah.
and so what I was trying to say is like they decide what to do, but like you, because of like how volatile was the market at that time, and because you need a trader, you need to place the trades, and you need to like the timing and
You need to execute.
And the execution is very important. Even the site sometimes, when to this, they had like the classic like 70-20, or like in the 70, the strategy say, okay, the strategy has to have in the 70 like 50% luxury and 50% something else. So you need, and they say, okay, of those stocks, we need to have the 1% has to be distributed in this percentage. So you take care of the order even on the sides, because you need to reach 100%, but you can do it gradually. You can think that those days could be the bottom, so you like concentrate your trade on that, and maybe like you see that something else maybe might go a little bit more further than that bottom, and so like that's like there was like my own my
Great.
main like job description, right? Taking care of that. And but they always say we are open to anything. Just let us know. Like if you have any, even if you think there is like a new strategy, a new theme, we can talk about it. No, we obviously like I was checking the market like all time, so I could have like an idea, but for sure, like I was more like the action guy, the trader guy, and the financial analyst, the fundamental analyst was taking care of the other aspect, or like the asset allocation, and all the investment in general, the fund.
With that, obviously that's your favorite trade. You took it to the superiors. The superiors went, yeah, okay, look, we'll trust Marcello, and it paid off, and it paid off really nice. You saved some money. Your favorite ever trade, was it not a trade making money? It was a trade not losing money, like, or losing less money, which I love. Have you noticed anything kind of transition from that? Because you would have been drilled in working for a bank how heavy and important risk management is, and how sometimes you should celebrate not losing money or losing a small amount of money when you could have lost a big amount of money. Moving to your own accounts and your own trading, has that has that come across as well? Are you risk averse, or are you?
I always do like the crazy guy, all in. No, well, not now, of course, right? But like initially, yeah, I didn't care. I didn't really care about, like, I still want to like gamble. I just want to say, I think it's gonna go up. Just put everything in with like leverage 50 per. Like no money management, no risk management, no push, like nothing. Sometimes I didn't even put stop loss. How crazy it was.
So it was like you were starting fresh, even with your
background. I don't know if I want to try to be like a rebel, like was like rebelling against like the thing that for me was, could be boring, and say, no, I want to like, try to get rich, right? But no, it's then you realize, no, you don't get rich like in 2 trades, 10 trades. You get rich like through a process.
Yeah, I respect that. I respect the energy of what most people get in this market for, right? And then growing from there. Is there any kind of, out there in the world, is there any advice that you hear often from traders or from influencers in which you disagree with?
Well, it's not like an advice. Like it's like the normal thing that they say: try to cut your loss, which is what I really straight believe, and let the profit go.
Yeah,
I disagree with that. I think that if your process, your strategy tells you, it's a percentage, right? It's a win-loss rate. When you hit that, you close it, go. Selling may go away, and that's what you got to do. You don't need to think, because then like the FOMO, everything, all your bad thoughts come back and say, oh, I could have made double of that. No, just close it, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, let the profits go. It's a big BS for me. It's
Yeah,
like let the profit go where you think it's gonna go. If it doesn't go, and you think that that could be enough. It's enough. You close it. You made your money. You're happy. Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Your analysis works. Don't worry about what happens next. Your analysis
because
works.
it's not like you never are
analysis.
like precise 100%. You will never touch the exact like tick of the price you insert as a take profit, because unless it's gonna go like a big jump, right? Or you need to like, but for this, and another thing is like you need to follow the trade. You need to be on. So, but that's the alert. The alert can give you like help too if you're like a swing trader, because you can set your take profit to like 10 and push your like alert at 980, 985. So you kind of have the alert say, okay, check it, let's see how it goes.
I think there's a lot of I think the whole let your runners go came more from equity investing. As a background through history, you have a look at let your runners run. I think that came from investing in equities. When you buy a stock and you hold it for the next 6-7 years, like let it run, don't keep cutting it. And I think a lot of people have picked that up and brought it into the day trading. And I agree. As an FX trader, we train ranging markets. Letting your winners run is never a good idea. We range all the time. Get out when you want to get out. But I respect it. I understand where you're coming from. Going back into your strategy, you use a couple of different indicators you mentioned there in the way that you trade as well. Is there anything that you deem, compared to what you see everywhere else in the industry, is there anything you do which is a little bit unorthodox compared to what competitors do or what other traders out there do?
No. One, because I believe in two things. One is like that I have heard, and my professor university, other traders I follow and I talk to, I think that the easier strategy you use, if you see that works, because even if like you use like the most common indicators, but you set it up with other partners, or you set it up with a different average numbers, and you see that it works. Like I said, when I say like taking the profit, if you see that works, it doesn't have to be like complicated. We are not like math scientists, or like we don't have to discover like the new planet on after our moon or whatever, right? Of the Milky Way. So you just need to understand what works for you. And usually they're like, I don't know if you ever count them, but there might be like hundreds, maybe 1,000 of different indicators, which all average mostly. They're all average. So they always do the same. They don't like predict anything. They can give you an indication, because we all know it's statistics. It can be like an indication what was going on. So the only thing that you really like have to see is like, checking the chart, and it's just like the double bottom up, the double top, that works, or like the pattern, the triangle, the if there is like a channel where it's going on, there could be some price action. But otherwise, like, indicators give you like an indication, right? And like I said,
they present data in a different way.
And then you don't have to be a scientist. I told you don't have to have like an engineer degree to understand that. You need just to make it work, So what I think, that one has to be easy, and you find your own way. So you can like listen to a lot of traders and professor, whatever, telling you their own strategy, what they do. But then, and I think everybody agrees, and everybody always tells you, but then you got to find your own. And you need to like study the indicator that you feel comfortable with, that you understand, set it up, understand, like maybe like I've listened somebody telling you about a strategy, then somebody else telling you another one, then you try to combine them. That could be like a new sort of strategy that you can try to do, a combination of the two. And But like I said, it has to be easy. You need to understand it, even because if you don't understand it, you will never make it work. You will just like struggling, like trying to predict something that you don't understand, you can read, you don't have any clue what's going on.
Yeah.
And second thing, about like what you said, something different. If you do something completely different, and another rule apply, the stock market is like, it's like a factory, like a countryside house, Mr. McDonald house in the country, that they have all the sheep. What they do, the
Yeah.
sheep go together. So you need to follow the market. So you need to understand what the majority of the people are going,
Yeah.
and trying to not be the last one getting with the first sheeps to get the food, hoping you're gonna be one of the first one, so you
I
can
like
get
it.
the majority of the food that you want to get.
My imagination's lost in a field full of sheep, but I know I see it. And going back to your other point as well, if that element, you need to understand your strategy. And I think a lot of that comes from creating it your own. I don't know if you meant it or not, but what you actually said there was, as you look to test and use these different indicators, you customize them. You maybe add a little bit of this person's doing this, a little this person, but you bring it together and then you test it and you customize it yourself, which means you'll understand it and you'll be able to actually go through that testing, which I think is very paramount in moving forward as a trader there. Let's have a look back at the beginning of your journey and where you've come to now. It's been 15 years you've been involved in the financial
But don't make
markets.
me cry, okay? I don't want to cry about it.
What would you tell yourself if you were able to talk to yourself 15 years ago and your journey was going to be the same? What would you give yourself a heads up about? How would you differ?
Definitely, like knowing how I am, and that's the thing that I have realized kind of now how I am, even though like I've been told for all my life. It's like I need to be patient. You need to be patient.
So being
You need to,
self-aware.
yeah. I'm more self-aware now of myself, so I try to kind of manage myself, which is I can even do it myself. Not even like my wife can do it, and or my parents, like they never. That's why I left my country, right? Like a crazy cat. And I don't think like anybody can like handle me or manage me, like in any case, and mentor me. Maybe like the new boss I have, it's kind of, he is into me like a little bit, so he understands me more. But yeah, patience, it's lack of patience and discipline has been, that's why I've been always like struggling with trading initially. And I needed the company environment that, kind of like give you your own form, try to like, plasm you in like what you can do better. Because
So
if
you're
I wouldn't have like that part of my life, I wouldn't have like ever succeed. I would never get to this point. So that was like a good school for me. Instead of going to the army, people go to the army because they're crazy and they want to have discipline. That, company environment helped me a little bit.
Yeah. So your advice to yourself in the past would be become more self-aware. Understand what
Yeah.
makes you tick, what annoys you, what works for you, and work with that.
Yeah, but like I said, mostly like discipline, like understand what the word FOMO means, which I recently, like the last years has been more, even on TV, on like on the social media, has been like kind of like pull up as a major issue for people. But discipline and that goes in everywhere. No, it's not just trading, because you need to discipline with your money, like spending wise, eating wise. There is a lot of discipline that you need in your life to succeed, because then like it becomes like a natural thing for you. If you do it like in your diet, you are more edged to do it like on your trading, on your like daily routine. So it's like it's a compound thing. It's a compound interest of your life.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to throw this to a lightning round. Okay, so I'm going to throw 3 questions your way, and I want your first answer. The first one you can give me, and then we'll discuss it a little bit after. So you ready?
Go.
One book you believe every trader should read.
You know what? I don't like books.
Okay.
Okay. I like movies, and I
Okay.
will definitely suggest The Big Short.
The Big Short. Yeah. Okay. I believe there is a book of The Big Short.
I
I think there's
if
a
there
booklet,
is like there might be, but like I don't know. So I don't like reading.
I like I like it. Okay. If you could have dinner with any financial mogul, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
You.
Me. Hey,
And why?
you can cook me a nice meal anytime you want.
No, I really like you. I follow you, and I think that we have a lot of things in common, and we can really like might build something that can bring us more as a person, as a trader, and it can be a good combination. So
I
definitely you.
appreciate that. I mean, I'm definitely not a financial mogul, but I appreciate it.
For me, you are.
I'll
For
take
me,
that
you
to
are.
heart. What's the biggest myth about trading that you would like to debunk?
Say it again. That I would like to
Debunk. What demyth? What's a myth about trading
There is
which
not
you
a
think?
myth. A myth that is not a myth.
Yeah.
That whoever has money makes money. That's a false myth for me. Like
Yeah.
if you're good, like I said, if you like follow your strategy, your discipline, even from zero, you can make your career. You don't need always a lot. It's easier, but that doesn't mean you automatically will success if you're
I
not
like.
mentally prepared. For sure,
Yeah.
you are more inclined to have like an environment that might help you, because in the environment that made that they gave you the money is a successful environment. But then it's still up to you to follow it, if or like that your parents or whatever like give you the money, if didn't teach you how to manage the money or like how to be successful, you will lose that money that you have inherited.
Yeah. So many beginner traders believe that their issue is that they don't have enough capital. So I love that you've addressed that, because you see it all the time. People say, "Oh, if I just had $100,000, I would
I
make
used
a
to
full
say the
time
same. I used to
trader."
say the
Yeah,
same. And my
it's
wife
false.
was always saying, no, you gotta like just effing follow what you said. Because she
If you
knew,
can't make money, yeah, if you can't make money with $2,000, you definitely can't make money with 200 grand.
right?
It gets harder.
Right.
It doesn't get
Like,
easier. It gets harder.
like I was saying, like it's a routine. When you start with your diet and you see you're losing weight, right? I mean, it's working. If you start like looking good after you mean the diet is wrong. And you
Yeah,
can do it like from 200 pounds until 100 pounds, or just for like 2 pounds. It works same way.
yeah, yeah. I respect it. I got one last question for you, a big one. What's the single most important advice you would give someone today who's just getting started in trading?
Hey, that's a good question. I would just say this actually, following what I just said, because you don't need a big capital. I would just say a mix of the things I said before. So just try to study, not to get crazy. Try to understand things that you don't understand. Try to understand what you can understand. Apply on a paper trading and do it. Like practice. You don't need just like to study like like I say algorithm or who knows what. You just practice and and follow, and yeah, mentally you need to be stable. And if you don't, it that's the thing. You don't even have to ask yourself. You need you because you sometimes you don't see it if you're not self-aware Ask your parents, ask whoever is like close to you, and say, do you think will I be successful in this? Like, if I have enough discipline, I have enough like mental stability to do that. If 3/4 of them they will say yes, then yeah, that's a good start. Because learning, it's the best part. It's the funny part, and the easier part. You will figure it out. Like I said, we have a ton of indicator, a ton of thing that you can do, and there, like I said, like it's a combination. So it's easy. Like you will find something that works for you, but you need to be mental prepared. And when you're mental prepared, everything else is gonna like go. Like I say, it's like going into a diet. You you follow the diet because you want to. Your brain is telling you, okay, I need to do this. I need to change. I need to like set up this. It's not like the diet itself. It's how you create a diet, and it's your mind. So the power in the power of your mind tells you what to do. That's my advice.
I love it. I love it. Marcello, it's been an absolute pleasure to sit down with you. Thank you for joining us on Traders of Money. I know we're going to have a couple of links down in the description where people can see more of you. And of course, they can find you right here on TradeDelicious during the live trading rooms on a Thursday as well. It's been an absolute pleasure, Marcello. Thank you. Thank you for taking part.
You too.
Cheers.